Hello, I'm Gabby.
And my name is Nayeli.
And today we're going to be talking about pedestrian safety while walking, biking, or scooting. Before we get started, please take a moment to get yourself in a place with a little bit of space. You'll need about an arm's length. All right, now let's get warmed up. Make sure you have some water nearby. We're going to be moving and exercising. And as your body moves and exercises, it needs more water. I don't want you to get dehydrated. Dehydration means your body doesn't have enough water and you feel sick and tired. Now, please get out of your chair and into a position where you can do some movement. I am going to say 3 things. If you agree, please do a jumping jack after everyone. I like to play or hang outside. I like to walk or roll to the park. Roll means you ride a bike, you use a scooter, or a wheelchair. I walk or roll to school. Awesome. Now think about why you like to do these things. I like to walk and roll because it's a great way to exercise our bodies and mind. Expert says we need 60 minutes of exercise, and walking is a great way to get that exercise.
Moving while walking can also help us sleep better and calm our emotions and our worries.
Yes, and it's also a great way to connect with friends and family. Walking and rolling allows us to meet up with them and create connections, which is good for our mental health, even if we have to be 6 feet apart for social distance.
Walking and biking are great ways to save our planet. We are not polluting, and biking and walking can help us get to our destinations easier.
Let's learn how to walk and roll safely together. I will introduce some new vocabulary words. Some you may be familiar with, others you may not. That's okay, we're here to learn. After each one, we will do a movement associated with each vocabulary word. Nayeli, do you know what a pedestrian is?
I sure do. A pedestrian is anyone who moves or walks using their feet, a wheelchair, or another mobility device.
That's right. Think about it like this. Ped means foot, so people that get around on foot are pedestrians. Some people use special devices to get around, like wheelchairs or crutches. They are also considered pedestrians. Let's move like a pedestrian. Now, do you know about a bicyclist?
Of course, a bicyclist is anyone who pedals or rides a bicycle. Now let's pretend we're on a bicycle.
All right, now, what about a vehicle?
A vehicle is something with wheels that we can ride in or on to get to different places. Most vehicles use a motor, such as cars, trucks, or buses, except for bicycles. But bicycles are considered vehicles because they have to obey all traffic laws just like a car. Now let's pretend we are driving a car.
Great job! Now let's think about where we walk and roll. Nayeli, do you know what a sidewalk is?
Of course. A sidewalk is a path for walking and rolling along the side of a street or road. The sidewalk is the safest place for us to do these things. Many are paved, but some aren't. For streets that do not have sidewalks, we walk and roll on the edge, which is called the shoulder. This is different than the edge. Now let's practice walking back and forth like on a sidewalk.
Great. When thinking of the sidewalk, what comes to mind when I say the word edge? The edge is the side of the road, not the street where the cars are driving in. The edge is where the street meets the sidewalk. Sway your hands in front of your toes as if you've come to an edge. Nayeli, what is a crosswalk?
A crosswalk is a path where pedestrians can walk from one side to the other on a street. The safest place to cross is at a corner, so you have to make sure that you walk and not run across the street. Now let's practice looking left, right, and left again, like when you're about to cross the crosswalk. Ready? Left, right, and left again. Left, right, and left again.
Great. Last one. What is an intersection?
An intersection is where two or more streets cross each other. You likely already know that we must cross the street in order to get to where we want to go. But where is the safest place to cross the street?
At a corner.
Yes, corners are best for those that are driving because they can see pedestrians easily. This is also where drivers have to stop because of traffic signs or traffic lights. Even better if there is a crosswalk marked with stripes.
I like to use a rhyme to help me remember how to safely cross the street. We will do it first, and then I want you to do it with us. Stop every time at the edge of the street. Use your head before your feet. Make sure you hear every sound. Look left, look right, look all around.
If you think this is silly, think about how you can teach your younger siblings and friends so they can also learn how to cross safely. Let's practice together. Stop every time at the edge of the street. Use your head before your feet. Make sure you hear every sound. Look left, look right, look all around. Stop every time at the edge of the street. Use your head before your feet. Make sure you hear every sound. Look left, look right, look all around. The rhyme says to look left, look right, and look all around, which means you should look left, right, left again, and in front and behind you. You must look left again because this is where cars are closest to you.
When we are out and about, we see a lot of traffic signs and signals. Traffic signs and signals are important as they let us know what to do in order to arrive safely to our destination. Nayeli, can you give me an example of a traffic sign or signal? Let's talk about the pedestrian traffic signs and signal. The first one would be the crossing pedestrian sign. This lets us know it's okay to cross the street. Let's pretend to cross the street. The next one is the countdown crossing signal. Some of these may have a number countdown or a red flashing hand. If you are already on the crosswalk, continue walking. Let's pretend to cross the intersection. It is important if you come across the countdown signal and you are at the edge to stop and not cross the street. The final one is the pedestrian stop sign. If you come across this, it is important to stop and definitely do not cross the street.
You may also be wondering about stop signs and red, yellow, and green lights. These are important too. These are different from pedestrian signals because these are meant for those driving in cars or other vehicles on the road. But it's important that we all know these signals, whether you're walking, biking, or driving on the road, because it helps us know what those driving are going to do around us. You may already know what these traffic signals mean. First, the red stop sign and red light tell cyclists and cars to do what? Both tell them to stop. Act like a red light using your arms and hands to make a stop motion. Stop, 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 stop. Next is the yellow light, which tells cyclists and drivers to slow down because they will need to stop. Now let's pretend we are a yellow light and move our body in slow motion. And the green light tells those driving and biking that they can go, but they still need to look out for others that are walking, biking, or also driving. Now let's pretend we're a green light and run in place.
What about this sign?
This is called a yield sign. This tells people that are driving that they need to watch out for pedestrians or other vehicles, but they do not need to stop if there is no other vehicle or a pedestrian. Now let's practice a yield sign by doing this motion. Last one. What does this sign mean?
Oh, I know this one. It's a pedestrian crossing sign. It tells drivers to slow down and watch for pedestrians as there is a crosswalk ahead. Next time you're out and about in your neighborhood, see if you can spot one of these near your school. All right, let's review some information before we end our adventure together here today. Where is the safest place to walk?
A sidewalk.
Where is the safest place to cross?
The corner.
What makes some corners better than others?
The crosswalk.
Where do you stop before you cross the street?
The edge of the street.
Where do you look before you cross?
Left, right, left, and all around.
Why should we walk regularly?
It's good for our bodies, our minds, and our environment.
Thank you. Give yourself a hand and please stay safe.